You support social justice,
I do.
and you are known as a social justice warrior or something, right? You fight for that.
Well, what I believe, what I fight for is for human dignity, for the common good. I want people to be in solidarity with one another. I want to care for the earth because the earth is everyone's home. Without the environment, we we will have no future. So I this is the that's what I mean by social justice
Oh,
is that to every person, he or she gets what is due him or her as a human being.
what
That
does that
their
mean
dignity.
to get what is due? What do you mean by that?
Well, those would be the basic human rights. That would be the right to food, to shelter, to education, to healthcare, to worship freely. These are just some of basic human rights that are.
But health care and food is not a right because if you don't work, according to the scriptures, if you don't work, you don't eat. And no one is entitled to health care. Am I right?
Well, I believe that they are.
Why?
Well, because society is supposed to take. We're supposed to take care of each other.
But not on my dime.
Well, it's on everybody's
I
dime.
know that's the problem.
This is what it means to. That's why we pay taxes,
No, I
right?
don't pay taxes to feed lazy people. I pay taxes to fix the road, a strong military, and protect the unborn children.
Well, I think that life is much more than those three things. What
But
about taking care of the, what about redlining? What about zoning so that people can't get out of their poverty? They can't they can't take out a loan because of their zip code.
no,
These
they
are all.
take long because they don't pay their bills. I believe me, I know that to be true, and
Well, it
especially black people.
well, I think that it would be wrong to generalize everybody into that, but there are
No,
some
I may
people.
not know my flower sister. I may not know what a nun is, but I know black people, and black people don't pay bills. Have you ever loaned money to a black person?
I don't have any money to loan.
Thank God. You better be thanking Jesus for that. You won't get it
Well,
back.
but I believe I have a much more optimistic view of the human person than that because I
Oh,
do know a lot of African Americans and I know a lot of Latinos and a lot of Asians. I have friends from all different places.
I
And
know them too.
well, I have to say that everybody who can work does.
Oh,
That's
not
what
in
I
the black
know.
community.
Well, I
They
can't.
want reparations. They want affirmative action. They hate white people. They
Well,
blame white people.
can I ask you a question?
Yes,
So, what is the purpose of your show?
it's to wake people up, point them back to God.
But you don't sound like you um that you want to do it together.
What does that
Like,
mean?
well, that we move forward in unity together, in
It doesn't
solidarity.
work that way. Remember,
Well,
Christ
isn't
said
it?
only a few will find the straight and narrow path, and the rest will take the wide road that leads to destruction.
I think
They all ain't gonna walk together.
that's an easy out, and it's just your own personal interpretation. I think you
But
have
isn't
to
that in the Bible?
Well, it is, but I think you can't just look at one little quote from the Bible here and from the Bible there. You have to take it as a whole.
Well, how about when Christ said, if you don't eat, you suffer? I mean, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Well, I think there's a certain dignity to work, but not everybody is able to work. Look
Don't
at
say
all
that
these.
out loud. You're giving the black people a reason not to work.
Well, no, the thing is, what about our veterans who come back from war with PTSD?
Well,
What about,
that's a legitimate cause. But when you're black, you're lazy. You've been told that it's the white man's fault. You've been giving government for the last 70 years. You don't feel like working when you can get it free. Am I right?
well, I'm going to tell you that whoever is listening to this, that I have a lot more optimism in people than you do.
So when Christ said, "If you don't work, you don't eat," did he lack optimism?
No, I'm saying what you're saying about black people,
But how
black
about when
folks.
Christ said it?
Well, I think, but he upheld the dignity of work. Of course, I believe that, and to be work to work is to be creative, and it's part of who we are as humans. It's we build things, we make things, and it's very fulfilling to have a job. That's why
Right.
the right to work and to have a job belongs to everyone.
I know, but with the blacks, they don't build, they destroy. Have you noticed whenever they move in a neighborhood, nice neighborhood, the white people leave, the blacks turn into a ghetto. They're killing one another, like now they're going north. They're having babies out of wedlock, abortion up the yang. They're not doing the things that Christ wanted them to do. Have you noticed that?
So what is your solution?
That they return to Christ.
But what if they need a leg up? What if they need help? What if they need some guidance?
The
Because
last thing black people need is help. They have gotten too much help already. That's why they're in the condition.
no, I have a, I guess I just have a different perspective on that.